Okay, everybody, what we are going to do right now is go a little bit further past algebraic expressions all the way to algebraic equations. So the first thing that I want to write down is an algebraic equation is just like an expression, except it has an equal sign at the end. So let's work with the same thing that we were just working. 5k plus 2 equals, we'll go 12. 5k plus 2 equals 12. Just to give ourselves a simple one here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to understand that 5k, 5 is the numerical coefficient, k is the variable, plus 2 is the constant. Now, you'll see that the equal sign before the 12 is there. Now, what that stands for is the same as. Equals means is the same as. So I want you guys to remember that. It's almost like a balanced scale where something on the left-hand side has to equal what's on the right-hand side. And it's no different with an equal sign or an equal equation. So what I need you to do right now is just to look at this for one more second, and I'm going to start the process. So the first thing that we do when we solve equations algebraically is we get rid of like terms. Now you'll see that plus 2 and 12 are both numbers. They're both constant values. So what we can do is we can get rid of the 2 on one side. Now the reason that we do that is because we want to get the variable all by itself or isolate the variable. That's the best way to solve algebraic equations. So I'm going to subtract 2 from each side. And the reason that I subtract from each side is because it means the same as. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. So what happens is that becomes 5k plus 2, and then we're going to subtract 2 equals 12 subtract 2. Now the great thing is the 2 minus 2 obviously cancels off, and we're left with 5k on the left-hand side. 12 minus 2, or 12 subtract 2, turns into 10. So what we're left with is 5k equals 10. So 5 multiplied by k is the same as 10. So the next step is to isolate the variable. Now, because we know that 5k from our previous lesson is 5 multiplied by k, the way to get k all by itself is actually to divide that 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide 5 by each, or on each side, pardon me. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you that those 5s cancel each other out by crossing them out. And what you're left with is k equals 10 divided by 5. So now, to understand what k is in a whole value or just a one term, we can divide 10 divided by 5. So we go 10 divided by 5, and we have k, which is equal to 2. So now I'm just going to quickly give you 10 seconds to look at it. So we started with 5k plus 2 equals 12. 5k plus 2, then we subtract 2 equals 12 minus 2. So we kept our balance, or we kept what we did to one side, we did to the other. Then we divided 5 on each side. What we were left with is k equals 2. Now I'm just going to get Mrs. Leverson, who's helping me out on the whiteboard or on the smartboard, to erase all of that, and we're going to do a verify. So we had 5k plus 2 equals 12. And what we were able to find out was that k equals 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to input 2 for k and see if it still balances the equation. So we're going to go 5 multiplied by 2 plus 2 equals 12. Again, we're going to follow BEDMAS. So we will do 5 multiplied by 2 first. And 5 multiplied by 2 is to have two groups of 5, which is 10 plus 2 equals 12. And as you can see, 10 plus 2 does equal 12. So our verify worked, and that would mean that we successfully solved this algebraic equation. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys a way to verify these solutions, as well as quickly give you an idea of how to solve these equations algebraically. You can now go back into your book. I think this lesson is in Unit 6, and we're kind of jumping from Unit 1 to Unit 6. So go to that lesson and let's get to work.